Hello everybody, this is my intro to GenFit programming video, where I'm going to try and answer some questions that I expect you guys to have right from the get-go. We've got the layout. If you look in Adaro, you're going to see that the workouts are posted for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That does not mean that you have to do them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It just means that was the easiest way for me to put them in there. But you can go back and do a workout from a different day in Adaro with no problem. So if you are doing like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, then you can just go back and do Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You can just go back a day and do the workouts from the previous day. It doesn't really matter too much when you do them. You're going to get a better effect from them if you are as rested as possible in between. So I'd recommend not doing like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but if you absolutely have to, obviously it's better than nothing. I mentioned in one of these videos about what I have listed for off day programming, and I don't have anything listed for off day programming, and I'm not going to. My recommendation is to at least 3 times a week get between 30 and 45 minutes of low intensity cardio activity. So that means if you have a heart rate monitor, keep it definitely under 150, around 135. Once you've acclimated to whatever piece of equipment you're using, you should be able to stay around 135 pretty easy. On most machines, I think they call it like a fat burning zone. While that doesn't exist, it's probably listed as that. Or if you know anything about the zones, it's like zone 2 work. But I would say probably at the top end of the fat burning zone, make that the maximum. Okay, so here's another thing. If you only have time to do 2 strength training workouts a week, that's fine. Let's say you're doing Tuesday, Thursday. So do Monday's workout Tuesday, do Wednesday's workout Thursday, and next Tuesday do Friday's workout. So still follow the cycle. Just by the time we get to the end of the programming, you'll still have workouts left over, and pretty sure gonna have you at that point just reset and start anew, and I'll let you guys know when the cycle ends. In fact, I'll tell you about it right now. The way the workouts are basically structured, this is on me. You guys don't have to care. I'm giving you a little bit of a breakdown in case you do. We broke down the basic movement patterns: a squat, a hip hinge like a deadlift, an overhead press, and a horizontal press. And I structured the workout so each day one of those gets a focus, but also during that day you do every single thing. They're just not necessarily the primary focus. The focus of the exercise is going to get, at least for this cycle, 6 sets of 3 repetitions, and then followed by 2 strength exercises using a 5x5 protocol. And then whichever movement pattern hasn't been hit by that point will then be broken down into an endurance style circuit. So if you're wondering how it's all put together, if you squat, overhead press, and deadlift, then your finisher type moves, the 15 repetition range ones, are all going to be in the horizontal pressing plane. Fills it all out. And then also adding in rows on upper body days. But okay. Long, slow distance. Off day, right. Okay, so these are basically strength training workouts. Like I said before, you're training, one is the focus, which is sort of like a skill focus. It'll be the heaviest weight that you use, trains your body to build some power, loads the body, because that's where we stimulate tendon growth, bone growth, and hormonal fluctuations that are necessary for losing weight. That's why we use heavy weights. The sets of 5 are building general strength, and then the little 3 exercise circuit at the end in the 15 repetition range is to build endurance in those muscles, or work capacity, increases the number of veins and stuff like that, makes it easier to recover from workouts. And when you're carrying grocery bags, generally it's more than like pick it up and hold it for 3 seconds, right? You got to walk all the way out to the store, so you need strong biceps for that. See, workout 1. That's what it's all about. Okay, so picking weights. I anticipate this will be the next big question. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of floundering around in the beginning as we figure out what you're used to. And I can make recommendations, but there are so many factors And I've been surprised so many times by people that both I thought were going to be very strong and ended up being very weak, and people who didn't look like they would be strong at all and started hoisting around dumbbells, twice what I thought they'd be able to do. So I gave you some stuff that's pretty close to what most people have, but differences in body type and body weight and gender and attachment points and blah, blah, blah are all going to affect those so much that you just kind of have to experiment. I would definitely get some kind of a training journal and see where you're at. Over the course of the cycle, you're expected to increase the weights on the exercises. Our method for to see if we've chosen the right weight, because we can't know before, is to finish the set. I would say around repetition 10, if you literally feel like you're not doing anything, start over again with a heavier weight. The goal is, by the end of the set, to feel like you could have done one more with good form. It's another reason to use good form. If you start with bad form, you'll never know when form breaks down. That makes sense, right? So you start with nice, solid, rigid form. And when you feel your body starting to do this to try and get the weight to move, you know you've gone too far. So then you'll know your body a little bit, and you'll be able to make a better estimate next time. By the time we get to rep 15, it should be, my body wants to freak out to help me get it up, but it doesn't have to freak out quite yet to help me get it up. That'll happen on the next rep. This is a scale that it takes a little bit of practice to learn. But generally at the end, if you're like, yeah, I could have done like 5 more, it's way too light. If you had to struggle on the last 5 to get it to come up, then it's probably too heavy. So that's how you pick weights, and then you write it down, and then we can tell for progressing. If we don't write it down, we don't really know. Because this is one program to fit them all type thinking behind here, I can't track weight for each person and put it in the workout. That's on you guys. Video feedback. If you have questions about, did I choose the right weight? Is this last rep moving slow enough? Is my back straight? Is my squat low enough? Hopefully everybody sends me that video. Do not hesitate. Post it up on the Facebook page. Yeah, self-conscious. I've never made videos for people. This whole process tonight was very weird for me. So get over a little bit. We're not judging anyone. This is a pretty small group. I don't like to train people that I don't like. So everybody in this group is somebody that I know at least a little bit and am cool with. So I definitely can tell you that nobody in here is judging. And obviously, if anybody says anything inflammatory on the Facebook page, we'll boot them out. We'll all be buffed at that point, and we'll come beat you up. So right, don't hesitate. If you have a question about, is this right, you got to let me see it. Even if you don't have a question. In fact, when you're first starting out, I want a lot more video feedback from you guys. It doesn't take me long. I just scan over it and pretty much usually just say, keep your chest up a little more and flex your lower back a little bit more, or try for a little bit lower in the squat. That's guarantee that's going to be 90% of what I say to you guys. If you want to do your own form checks as a sort of a band-aid for a little while, you can use a mirror. You lose a lot of benefits of strength training when you use a mirror, oddly enough. They call it proprioception, the ability to feel your body in space. People who are good at weightlifting generally have very good balance. It's something that comes with having to stabilize a heavy load with your body. And so the research says thus far is that if you use a mirror while you're lifting and you are not focusing on your own, your own sense of balance, you don't increase your own sense of balance. That being said, if you can't tell if your back is straight or flat, is flat or round, and you have access to a mirror, that's a great way to start. I would rather have you lift safely than not fully develop proprioception, in your first 2 weeks of training. That's not really a huge goal in the beginning. So use a mirror and be like, yeah, okay, that looks good, and then go from there, or use a mirror and say, I don't know what the hell he's trying to get me to do with my body, and send me a video. That'll fix that. Okay, there are 4 workouts in the cycle, 3 days that we're working out a week. So each cycle takes 1 week and 1 day, and we're going to go through that cycle 3 times, which should take 4 weeks. math. I think that's right. So there's a little bit of repetition. You're going to do workout 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to do workout 1, 2, 3, 4 again. I'm going to try and change the finishers up and stuff to keep things feeling fresh, but body confusion is a lie. Generally, if you do the exact same exercise with the exact same grip width or stance width, weight, and intensity, you know, how hard you're trying, every single day, results will taper off after about 3 months. So we do not need to change exercises constantly. The better I can get you guys at some of these basic exercises, the more proficient you are at doing it, the more weight you're going to be able to use with it, and the more weight you can use with it, the more benefit it's going to have to you. So if I change it up to where it's like, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen today, and every day it's like, ooh, this new exercise, I totally suck at it, let's like start from the ground up on it. You spend every day starting from the ground up and you never actually build up to anything. So variation will be a lot less. I will throw variations in the finishers because we're getting your heart rate up, it doesn't matter. And there's enough variation built into the program anyhow, each day. It's not like you're doing the same thing each day. You already have 4 different exercises for each movement pattern throughout the cycle. So you're getting some variation. We're making it fairly simple so that you can get used to the exercises and really learn to push on them. It's been like 35 minutes now I've been talking. I guess I tried to answer some of the basic questions and a lot of the misconceptions that people have when they first come in to train with someone. These are things I've been asked. There's probably a whole ton more, and you guys probably have good questions for me. Don't be afraid to ask anything. That's why I'm here. That's why you're paying me, right? All right. Thanks, guys.